Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, 3 Degrees of Love Divination. It's your girl Alana here. So, wow, okay. So my last video, I can't believe that it ended up being so long. Like I said, I tried to cut it down, but it was very difficult to do. So I am hoping that this will go a lot smoother this time around. Did learn some things from the last one, and got some great feedback, and I'm really happy for that. And some of the suggestions that were offered, you know, was incredible, and I'm just so happy to have received them and be able to have applied them accordingly, and hopefully can, you know, continue to do the same moving forward. So of course, as I said, this was going to be a series tag, which is shadow work, you say. And so in this video, what I want to take a look at is, well, still obviously in the theme of, you know, shadow work and stuff like that, and still doing decks, but in this section it's going to be more so sets. So some of these sets are actually going to have books with them. So like if they had like a journal or a larger guidebook, probably gonna find some decks that are going to be by the same creator, and I, you know, paired them together. And I think there might be one or two that are not necessarily by the same creator, but are just to me, I thought really looked really great. But for the most part, it's going to be like sets actually, like, you know, either decks created by the same creator, or you know, or companion decks, or anything like that, or if they have, you know, books with them, as I said. So yeah, so, and I think for this round, I think I'm gonna call the tag shadow work, you say, sets. Yes, I think that's what I'm gonna call it. So all right, so with that being said, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell and click it to all, so that you will for sure be up to date on when I post my next video. And I do have quite a few ideas and things that I'm planning to do coming up shortly. So, and of course, you know, moving forward, but some really great ideas that I have that I want to do more in the immediate future. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. As I said, I am, you know, as a social worker and you know, an advocate for mental health and healing, and, you know, love, you know, for everyone and ourselves. You know, I pretty much everything that I have, you know, that I want to do is all going to be in relation with that. So you definitely don't want to miss out. I wouldn't want you to miss out, and I hope that what I have to offer will bring you as much joy as exploring it has, and developing it has brought me. So yeah. So anyways, so with that being said, let's just get right into it. I'm going to clear the table and we're going to get started. All right, see you on the other side.
matter what people want you to believe, don't ever turn back on your dreams. It's all in your hands, a change is near.
Hey guys, okay, so just to jump right in, the first set, or rather creator, creator's set that I wanted to discuss with you, and just is actually so very fitting for even for right now, and that I want to start with, is Marion Costentin, and she's the creator, if you guys know, and for those that don't know, she's the creator of the Reclaim Oracle and the Lilifer Tarot. And so just to, sort of go over the collection just, a bit here and just talk about her. So how I came across her was actually watching a walkthrough on another creator's channel, and she, like, as soon as I saw the deck, I fell in love with her, Marion, and I wanted to get the deck and immediately reached out to her. Anyways, long story short, because I can ramble, I was blessed with the opportunity to meet Marion and actually do an interview with her, which I will actually have linked in the description box for you, so you can take a look. And we discussed the Reclaim. At the time, it was only the Reclaim Oracle that she had out, and the Reclaim is just... The reason why, as I said, I fell in love with it is not only, I talk about the journal that she created, and I do flip through the book, in the book part of the tag, or the book portion part of this tag video, which I will also have linked below. But it's just what really blew me away about Marion is how she came up with this healing sort of, healing. I think I did it again. I hit the camera. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm doing this now. Anyways, whatever. Sorry. So yeah, so the fact that she came up with this, and how she, such a brilliant mind, and, it's so therapeutic, and it's so up my alley, being a social worker, and that's, what I dedicated my work to. And the fact that even, going through therapy and talking about feelings and understanding them and stuff like that, just... what not a better tool for introspection, and when we talk about love from that inner portion of love, which is for self, and we're talking about healing and trauma and all of that, this is such a wonderful tool that, to me, sort of bridges that gap between divination and therapy. And that, combined with my beliefs, religious beliefs, that even though I've moved away, I still hold certain aspects very dearly. This just really, especially at the time that I came across this on my journey here, it really was such a confirmation that I'm on my right path. And so this is why this is meaningful to me, and why Marion means so much to me. So I wanted to thank her for her work. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm okay. Just, anyway. So, just really quickly, just to, go over the Reclaim Oracle. This is actually the first edition, and I would tell you, after the interview, it was actually Marion who I wanted to buy the deck. But at the time, I think the first edition, first printing had just sold out, and so I missed out, but she was still, doing the pre-orders for I think the second printing of the first edition, and then she decided to gift it to me, and it has been one of the greatest gifts that I can say I've received to this date, and just how everything sort of came about. That's what, means a lot to me. Since then, Marion has released another edition of the deck. I think it's the third now that we're in, and she's changed the guidebook. She's so here are the two guidebooks that are here. This is what the first edition looks like. Guidebook. Here's the second one. When for the third edition that she had changed it up. So when I ordered the journal, I got that and the bookmark and Don't Be Afraid of Me. I'm only here to support you. Which, again, just, it feels like little pieces of confirmation that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And so, it feels good. And feels, and anybody who really knows me, I'm always in my feels, and I have always been. And just sort of managing that has been hard over the last 40 years. But anyway, so very cute. And then so because she also redid the she in the sort of upgraded edition, third edition, she also added 3 more cards. So it comes, so if you had the first edition and you obviously didn't want to get the newer edition, she did do where she did a booster pack for the extra 3 cards, which I think is a beautiful idea. And so the 3 extra cards also come with its own separate leaflet that has the additional cards on it, and then of course these are all the little extra goodies that came from the first edition. Since I had the cards, I've put mine in order, even including with the 3 additional cards. So we'll just take a look at it really quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, just because, as we know, how quickly I can talk and get carried away. So anyway, so this is, such a great, oh, you're not even seeing it, I'm sorry. Let me just move this up here. No. Fine, we'll fix this. Okay, so not better. That should be better. Okay, so yeah, absence, and it's really a deck about feelings and being able to sort of pinpoint, because sometimes in our darkness we can't always name what we're feeling, and you know, this is a great way to help to identify that, and this is why it's such a great tool for introspection, for journaling, and self-care, self-improvement. It's a very therapeutic deck, and why I think it's you know, it's so great to shadow work, you know, not besides the fact that of the aesthetic, you know, and just even like to pair, I'm just pulling out the emotional kaleidoscope. Oops, sorry. Just so you can see the bumping the camera, Lana. Just so you can see the power dynamic contrast. You know, so like first card, what was one of the major things you learned about the person / persons you experienced this with, right? So, and this card, based on how it's written, this would be something that if I was to, you know, run a support group, you know, and we were to explore feelings, you know, as a group, essentially, this would be, whoopsies, these would be two really great decks that I would use to work with such a group, or even you know, in a client reading, you know, and we're talking about therapy, because even so, you know, just to give you a background of me, again, as I've mentioned, you know, I am a person who lives with depression and anxiety and OCD and all of that, and you know, trying to navigate and live life. But you know, it's also what I've dedicated my, you know, career to, you know, to supporting others with as well. So, you know, and it's been my passion. So, you know, being able to pair my spirituality, my love for spirituality and divination and cards and books and my knowledge, it's, you know, I'm completely submerged in my element right now, you know, with these decks. So, you know, yeah, you know, like, let's say right now we have, what is one major thing, like I said, you learned from about the person you experienced this with, and right now we have boredom. Okay, well, we're talking now about relationships, and we're talking about, you know, a significant other, and we're talking about the 5 love languages, right? What is it, right? You know, I have here with also, oops, something fell. Oopsies. The This Might Hurt Tarot as well. Okay, so right now the players we have on the board here is we have the Reclaim Oracle, we have the Emotional Kaleidoscope, okay, and so I just decided to split the deck here. And we have the Two of Wands. Okay, you can't see that. Can you see? Right? The Two of Wands. I guess I should have just moved that out of the way. And Lana. There. Right? So, I just, okay, I just had to take a breather. I'm just looking and I'm just reading the cards and I'm thinking to myself, okay, message, we have if you, I don't know if you can see that at the top here, but the next card here, would your younger self be proud of the person you have become today? Right? Change. Boredom. Waiting for change and feeling bored by it. Just the waiting, not sure, you know, what to do, and you know how that makes me feel, or how that has made me feel, you know, and you know, depressed on top of everything else, because I know I'm better than my situation. I know I'm better than what I've been experiencing and what I've been going through, you know. Would the younger self be proud of the person that I've become today? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, she's telling me she's proud right now because you finally have made the effort to show up for yourself, to, you know, put your stuff out there. You've lived in darkness for practically 40 years. And I don't just even mean that, you know, I mean, you know, in many aspects, you know, figuratively, you know, I was never really, you know, always the shy one, never the one to put myself out there, like, you know, publicly, you know, to be doing what I'm doing right now, and finding a way to reinvent myself when I've thought I've lost it all, when my tower just completely shattered. And excuse me, and I am still here at 40 years old, beginning the new year with my feet on the ground, running to share my story so that I can help other people and give others the opportunity to share theirs, and for us to collaboratively work together, build with each other, to make this crumbling world we are currently living in a better place for all. Me being able to identify my part in that, however small, however big I choose to make that, by recognizing all of myself, the parts of me that have lashed out in pain at other people, those who have hurt me, and seeing that as a way to learn and grow, and you know, learn and be able to use that to influence my choices moving forward. What are the things that have hurt me, and me being mindful of them to not repeat those patterns for someone else, because that would just create and continue a negative karmic cycle of pain, right? Okay. Well, look at that right off the gate. If there ever was some spiritual work that can invoke serious outpour of emotion, well, Isabella, Rotman, Ruth, Marion, you've just blown this up for me. And this whole tag, this is everything to me. Anyway, okay, so still kind of, oh my god, it's already been 20 minutes and I've only just talked about Marion and Reclaim. Well, no, technically no, I haven't. That's okay, so fine. Anyway, but yes. Okay, so we're still talking about Marion here. Well, you know, throwing some other people in between. Okay, so this is so Lilifer, which is the next deck by Marion. Like, this is the Lilifer. I don't know why I can't. The Lilifer Tarot. And this is her spread cloth that you know, that she had. Very beautiful. And I'm just gonna pop out the Lilifer Tarot just really quickly, because I just realized it's already been 21 minutes. Oh my god, and I only done. Anyways, okay. Okay, so Lilifer comes, with a guidebook, but so what I do with any sort of paper guidebook that's thin like this, I usually put it in a little baggie to keep it fresh, and then making sure the bag is fully air free so that it folds up nice and thin, and then I can slip it in the box. And usually that's what I would do for decks that are like this and come in a tuck box. So this is Marion's deck, tarot deck, her first one, and it's beautiful. And the reason why I also really like it to go with this here, everything that Marion has done, and even just with the decks that I have out right now, is because, so the idea of Lilifer and the story there is essentially, this is a representation of our dark side, right? So, you know, if we're thinking about unity and wholeness, right, and the idea of choice, right, everyone has a light and a shadow. We all do. And it's really our journey in life that determines which parts of those sides we are influenced by. And so if you know the story to you know, with creation and stuff like that, and you know, and even the Bible and beyond the Bible, I should say, right? So we know that Lucifer is the devil, but what many people, and I've learned this more recently myself, is that what most people don't realize is that the devil, when as the story goes, God was creating man, and he, you know, it was time to make Adam a wife. Well, it was Lucifer and oh my gosh, what is her name? Oh my god, the deity. Anyways, for whatever reason, it's just drawn me a blank, and I will don't know why the name Lillian keeps coming up, but I feel like that's wrong. But anyways, I will put the correct thing on the screen. I don't know, just anyways. But he had a first wife, and she chose she chose Lucifer instead. So the idea is that it's the two. That's the premise behind Lilifer. You know, so anyways, the feminine and masculine of the dark side, if you will. Okay. Yeah, and so that's Marion, and she does have a few other things that I wanted to just quickly mention, or rather, so also she has this how do you shadow work and heal yourself book. Yeah, so like that's absolutely beautiful, stunning. Marion, you did such a fabulous job, and the additional decks that, you know, with This Might Hurt, and you know, and with Emotional Kaleidoscope, this, like, I could pretty much just stop right now and now say done. Shadow work, you say? Like, done. But that's the thing. It isn't, because there is a few more sets that I need to pay homage to. I feel that is so right up in this field. And you know, as I talk about Marion and Ruth, you know, the creator of the Emotional Kaleidoscope deck, so in Canada where I live, we have what's called Bell Let's Talk Day. And that is coming up very fast. It's actually January 25th this year, and 2023. And the idea, you know, with Bell Let's Talk, it's the idea of breaking the stigma for mental health and mental health awareness, you know, and, you know, really continuing that conversation. You know, so why this hashtag, why, you know, these creators mean so much to me, and the work that not only am I doing for myself, but that I've dedicated my life to in helping others navigate and overcome is, you know, is something that is near and dear to me. And so because of that, as I did last year, and you'll see, you know, a few creators that I had, you know, chosen for, you know, that initial idea that I had, and that was to do a real talk, you know, mental health and spirituality discussion, you know, and how, you know, people in, you know, in the spiritual, who are, you know, spiritual practitioners of all kinds, essentially authors, whatever, anything that has to do with either side of the to me, the foundation of making, of, you know, healing and making ourselves whole is something that, you know, I want to bring forth and honor, you know, and have that discussion with others that are like-minded, you know, and have devoted themselves to, you know, this work as well. So, so coming up, I do plan, on my channel, I am going to be doing, the second annual Bell Let's Talk Day tribute video, discussion video for mental health and awareness, and I am so pleased to be able to share with you in this video 2 of those participants who are going to be a part of that discussion that I will be filming first, and then will be premiering on Bell Let's Talk Day, so January 25th. So please like, share, and subscribe, and spread the word. If you haven't seen last year's video, I strongly want to encourage you to go check it out. Last year I had on there, Malamir Logan, who is the creator of the Chakra Healing Tarot. I had Kara Simmons, who is the creator of Song of the Grandmother's Oracle and Prairie Majesty Oracle, Joyful Resonance, and as she's known on Instagram, and I believe her website as well. And I also had the creator of the new healing deck, I forget the name of it. I will put it on the screen. But anyway, the beloved Murphy Pines, who is the creator of the deck, and they were such a beauty to have on this discussion. And how I came across their deck is another wonderful story. And of course, right now their deck is still in production, so once it comes out, of course, I'm going to be talking about it on this channel. Anyway, I can't say enough about that person. And then hold on, let me just double check who else was there. Oh, and sorry, Linda, who's the creator of the Northern Animal Tarot deck, and her third edition of her gorgeous deck is launching, I think, right now as we speak. But as my understanding, she's releasing them in limited quantities, just because she is solo, so just to help with the volume. I think that's how she said that she's doing it. All of everybody that I'm talking about, I will have all their information linked down below in the description box. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll come back for part 2 of the sets, because I have a feeling that I'm probably going to have to do a part 2, but I'm going to see how many I can get through in this. So, all right. So, just to dive right into the next creator, what would shadow work be without the beloved work of MJ Cullinane? So, she's done the Crow Tarot, which is the most popular, and I would say, but she's also done quite a few different decks, and I believe she has another one of her independent decks that is being produced mass market, and is soon to be coming out soon. Now, the thing with with this creator, MJ, is that I feel like she is, her work is really shadowy, and is perfect for this kind of work. So, and of course, like I said, we're talking about the Crow Tarot, as you can see that I have in front of me, as well as the Urban Crow Oracle that she did. This copy here is the mass market edition that just recently was released by Hay House. Her mass market Crow Tarot is done by US Games, and yes, I do have the Urban Crow, the Urban Crow Oracle, her indie version, and partly why I got this is because, so I picked up the mass market edition first, and then at the time it was my understanding that the indie deck, the indie version of the deck was no longer in print, but then magically she was releasing I forget what the pack was, but anyways, oh yes, it was a copy of the Crow Tarot with a copy of the Urban Crow Oracle. Trying to put those words both together at the same time, and the indie version, along with her expansion pack. Now the expansion pack is really cool, but it only really pairs well enough in its current format with the indie version of the Oracle deck, and it's not in the mass market deck. Now, I was hearing rumors that there will possibly be there might be an expansion pack that might come out later, mass market, but that was rumored, so I'm not entirely sure if that is actually going to be the case, but that was some of the thoughts. So I was really happy when the indie version came about, because I really wanted to work with the expansion pack, but I wanted it to to actually match, which in the expansion pack's current format, it doesn't match the mass market. So but yeah, and I mean, this woman is fabulous with her work. I mean, so of course these are just some of the extra goodies that came with, because I ordered my copies, especially, well, of course with the indie copies of her decks. It's only available on her website, which I will definitely have linked below, and of course with her packs, it came with additional postcards. There was a single card reading that came as well with when you ordered directly from her. There's a calendar. I think that was also part of the mystery pack no, I think it was called Murder Mystery. And that is what included the Crow Tarot and the indie version of the Urban Crow Oracle. But included in that was a 2023 calendar, Crow Tarot calendar, with all her artwork, from the decks, so, which is really cool. Postcards, I think there's a couple tattoos here, temporary tattoos, and then there was also, that came with the mass market edition of the Urban Crow Oracle. So in order to get the signed copies, you have to order it directly from MJ Cullinane in order to get it signed. You can get the mass market editions, of course, on Amazon, but of course they're not going to come signed. Yeah, and so when I got the mass market Urban Crow Oracle, it came with this bracelet too. Really nice. And then, oops, sorry. And then we have the Guardian of the Night Tarot. This is another because this is also another of her decks that was independent and recently came out mass market by, again, Hay House. So of course I haven't worked with this yet, but it is on my to be used list, if you will. And so the Guardian of the Night Tarot comes, the mass market does come with a guidebook, and it's a pretty chunky one that's already in there. Now I guess I want to say with the indie version, I'm not 100% certain on this, so don't quote me on it, but I want to say it didn't come with a deck size guidebook. It came with this, or this was available, because I'm not entirely sure, but I saw this as an additional book and it was cheap on Amazon, so of course I picked it up to go with the mass market version of the deck, even though this is really supposed to be for the indie version, I think. But anyways, and then she also recently came out with Treasures from Above, a yes/no oracle. And again, given, you know, her aesthetic, as I've said, you know, it's still within, you know, the sort of shadowy theme of everything, right? So these are the backs, and essentially, you know, as you shuffle the cards and you shuffle the cards and you choose. There are items on the cards that you would then sort of, whatever image sort of screams at you or that really grabs your attention, you know, that's obviously, that would be the image that you would be focusing on from the card. And then of course you have the write-up, the guidebook, you know, with the meanings for each of those images. So that's really cool. And I like the color scheme, and just, you know, how her artwork sort of resonates. Spitball on my card. Okay. Yeah, so I really liked that. And actually, let me just quickly show you the Urban Crow Oracle, the mass market. Although many of you probably have seen this. So, but yeah, so these are the backs. And let's see. I'm going to show you the Crow Tarot because I'm sure many of you guys have seen it. Actually, I already did this one. Whoops. Or maybe I will. What am I saying? But I will show you the difference with the expansion pack here. So these are the backs of the indie version of the Urban Crow Oracle, and put it away. That's how they've changed. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I should do that. Okay. And, oh. I don't think I showed you Guardians of the Night. I don't believe I did. So here's her Guardians of the Night. And of course, like I said, if you want to see any of these, you know, a little further and how I use, you know, or work with these cards, other than what I've already, you know, shown you, by all means, let me know in the description, and I totally will. You'll probably see me using them more often in videos in anyways, but, you know, as I continue to do more videos, but yeah. Okay, so here's the Crow Tarot. Real quick. Whoop. Oh yeah, I forgot. So these are the backs, and these are the cards. And the idea, you know, with the Crow Tarot and the understanding of the Crow is, you know, well, you know, is definitely a messenger, right? And, you know, represents messages from the spirit realm. So, you know, so who, you know, what not a better representation, you know, of the hidden and the unknown than the Crow. Especially when we're talking about shadows. Right? They represent the night, the darkness. All right. And then, oh, and okay, let me show you this one. Oops. All right. So of course, also recently, MJ Cullinane had a, she was coming out with her spreads journal, tarot spreads and journal, a guided journey to uncover your story, essentially, right? What's hidden in the darkness must come to light. So, you know, what a better way but to, you know, to do that. Anyway, so much like the other journals that I've shown, you know, it's, you know, got a similar layout, but of course, you know, unique to each creator, right? More postcards and stuff that came with my order. Yeah, and the cool thing about this, about getting this, when she recently released it, was the fact that along with getting the journal, I think it was a pre-order incentive, but there was a mystery deck that came along with your order, and of course, you know, it was sent to us at random, and just to, you know, to just, you know, show how, I guess, the power of manifestation that I'm learning too, is that I wanted the For Hoxa Tarot that she had. Something about the artwork, you know, even though it's not entirely my aesthetic, you know, and stuff, and I guess sort of as I continue to dive further into, you know, to tarot and, you know, this aspect of spirituality, I'm still sort of learning what my aesthetic is to a certain degree, you know, and so initially, and you know, and I've heard other tarot readers and, you know, spiritual practitioners also talk about, you know, the growth, and, you know, as they continue on their journey of spirituality and stuff like that, their practice tends to change, you know, and stuff like that. And I can tell you that first diving into tarot, you know, even looking at the Crow Tarot and Urban Oracle and all of these decks, or a lot, you know, some of these decks, you know, and the darker sort of artwork wasn't something that initially was what I was drawn to, you know. It was just like, you know, the decks that represented, you know, my historical upbringing, you know, Christianity and things like that. So, you know, Radley Valentine and you know, and Doreen Virtue, and, you know, those kinds of artists, you know, were initially what I was being drawn to. And then, you know, as, you know, things progressed and as I started learning more about tarot and oracle, you know, and combining that with my education and, you know, my professional experience, my religious upbringing and all of that, and therapy even, you know, I think the biggest piece to this growth here, as a whole, and for me, and the work that I've been doing to date, and my practice, the biggest contributor to all of this is my therapy, which I am actively in once a week. And when I combine that with the introspection, with my education and all of that, And the tarot and journaling, it the transformation that I've managed to achieve to date is equally for me the result of everything that I've been doing. Not just tarot, not just, you know, my religious upbringing and traditional practices, not just, you know, it's everything. It's everything combined, you know. And the one theme that as I've been sort of, you know, reflecting on this and doing all this work, and you know, and you know, the ideas for this video you know, came about, and you know, and this hashtag or these videos rather, and the hashtag and everything, you know, it all dawned on me that I feel like a lot of people in you know, in this sort of free-form spirituality work, and you know, and stuff, I see the trend that a lot, you know, that where a lot of people seem to be missing the mark, if you will, in life. Some, not all, of course, but I feel like the majority, right now, there's the piece that's lacking is that that shadow work. And that shadow work, to me, how I see it, doesn't just come from one aspect. It doesn't just come from religion. It doesn't just come from tarot and books. It doesn't just come from therapy or being on medication, or it's essentially a full body experience, you know. And until we all recognize that, and we all, you know, do the introspection to see and bridge these connections, we're all just going to end up continuously limping with a missing limb, essentially. That's in my mind, you know, to describe what I'm talking about. That's how I see it, because it's all these aspects, not just physically, that make up who we are. There's that deeper aspects that our experiences in this world, how we relate to others, how we relate with ourselves. It's a bigger thing. And what I've found overall, that people have seemed to, including myself, please don't get me wrong, I am in no shape or form saying that, you know, I have it all figured out and, you know, I'm the expert here. No, I'm very much human, you know, and I wholeheartedly, you know, recognize that, will admit to that, you know. But bigger picture that I've been able to see throughout all this work that I've been doing, through all this introspection that I've sort of just been unfortunately thrown into, not necessarily by choice, you know, but because of circumstances that led me to, you know, anyway, as I look at myself, I'm able to see everyone else, and I can see the brokenness. I see the suffering. And I know that if we're not all willing to do something about it, we're just going to continue the same depressing cycle. We're at our worst, and I've said that before, and I'm saying it again, because every day, and I stopped watching the news in 2020 for a reason, because I recognized that it was also contributing to how I was feeling overall, and I couldn't do it, you know. So, you know, anyway, and you know, and how I've seen it, everything starts with the mind, and you know, and there's so many factors that affects our brains, you know, what we learn, how we learn, who's, you know, our environment, who's influenced us, you know, our upbringings, you know, what is in our DNA, you know, it's all connected. We are all connected exactly the same way. So, you know, being able to see your reflection, you should be able to see it in everybody that you meet, everybody that you see, because essentially we are exactly the same. No, let me reverse that a little bit. We originate from the same. When it all said and done, we're all just big balls of DNA, you know, walking around, being controlled by our minds. And if we don't have control over it, who's gonna? We're gonna, right? We really, realistically speaking, only we have control over ourselves. And so if we can only control ourselves, we have to take responsibility for what we do and the impact that we have on the overall operations of life. We all have to do our part. And how are we going to be aware of ourselves if we don't take the time to fully dive into every aspect of that? That's the reason for shadow work. So, yeah. So I think, you know what? I'm going to end this video there, right here. I thank you so much for joining me on this shadowing, reflective journey video, you know, that stemmed from the hashtag shadow work, you say. You know, thank you for joining me for this portion, you know, with sets and me honoring, you know, these deck creators and their contribution to, you know, this overall experience. And you know, and I and just the, you know, just being here to listen to me, hear what I have to say, and to honor those that I admire. I thank you very, very much, and I will see you again soon. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, you know, so that way you will be in the know on when I upload my next video. And until I see you again, live, listen, learn, love yourself and others equally and fairly. I love you so, so much. Take care. Bye.
No matter what people want.